Hello friends of AP Computer Science. Today I'm going to show you my thingy-majigger. I made an application on Swing, or not on Swing, with Swing, on BlueJ using Swing. Yeah, that's what I meant. Anyway, that's my phone. Don't mind my friends, they're cool. So, in this application, I made a button runner and create a job. Now these two are like executable things. Create a job was supposed to be executable from the button runner, but yeah, that hasn't worked out yet, and it's quite hard. Anyway, I think I'm going to show you an example, and then I'm going to run you through the files, everything that I made. No, I don't. And then we'll make one more example. So, first, the created job. What should have been in the button runner. We run it, and it asks you for a name. See this? Yes. Let's do Logan Connor. Yeah. Let's just go with his first name, because I don't feel like spelling out everything every time. So it says, welcome Logan. And it says, do you want to set a new job? Well, yes I do. Why would I be here without, why would I want to say no? So, what job do? You are well, you're a dishwasher. You washed dishes. Yes. That's what you did. And you got $10 for it. Congratulations. And your job has been recorded. Now, see this called the show file? Yeah, I made this so that after it gets recorded, it gets put into a temporary folder. There it is. And there's Logan. I made one earlier just to test it. And there's Logan's. And when you open it up, it says it has his name. And it says washed dishes 10. Yeah. So now, the next cool thing. I'm going to use the show file method this time. Show you how that works. So we do this again. And, let's come back to Logan. It says welcome back, and it says his current jobs are washing dishes. So, do you want to set a new job? Now, say I was like, no dog, I don't want to set a new job. I just wanted to see what I had there. And so I pressed 3. I'm like, oops, I'm dumb. Maybe I'll press 4. Wow, I'm dumb again. So, if you press 2 this time though, it says goodbye, and it quits. Okay. So that's that. We could have added a new job, but you already saw how that was done. So now to the button runner. Oh yeah, and the create a job, I'll show you that later after I do everything. So, the button runner, it's just going to ask you for your name, because I was planning on it doing some things, but it never really worked out. So, say we did Logan again. Is it going to work this time? I'm confused. I don't know. It doesn't do that on the computer at, oh, maybe I pressed the wrong thing. Yes? Maybe? Okay. Yeah, okay. So it does that, and then this pops up. So first it showed us what we already done, and I'm just doing that because I wasn't able to make this work. But it says welcome to Odd Jobs, and the main thing was gonna be able to show your job. And when you click on it, it says frame 0 because it wasn't working, and yeah. But yeah, I can make it say whatever we want. We'll get to that, and then I was gonna have you add a job, and that was gonna be connected to this, and I couldn't make that work because it's tough. So yeah, there's that. And now we're gonna get into these things. I think first we're gonna get into create a job. So the create a file right here is just a simple little scans in. I don't know. It doesn't scan. Oh yes, it does. Hold on. So it's all it is gonna be, it's got a constructor and then just a has been created. And this I didn't end up using because I was gonna use that to actually no, I did use it. God, I'm rattled right now. No, I used this so that I can know whether or not it's been created, so I can, like, if you notice, if I make a new job, it's or if I go to a original, it says welcome back, and it tells you all this stuff. Whereas, or gotta quit first. Whereas if you say wanted to make a new account, let's go Daryl. It says just welcome Daryl, and then you can set a job. Now if I leave, no job is set, but Daryl has made an account. So that's what that has been created does for you. So yeah, then this try and catch is just so that you can I can make it so if you have not made an account yet, it'll create one, and if you have, it'll not catch it. Yes, because if you haven't made one yet, and it goes into this, it'll be like, well, I don't know what that is, and then it'll catch it and it'll make a new one. And when it makes a new one, the first thing it does is prints out the name that you gave it. So yeah, that's what happens. So the catch is for if you have not made one yet and you're making a new account. So that's that. Then the show file. Kind of simple too here. This just takes in your name as well, and I guess this is right in the create a file too. This little thing here, it makes where the file is, the temp and all that, except it inputs that name that you gave it. And then this time it's the same thing, except it's gonna make I can't think of the word. It makes an array, and so then you can use that array, and it will print out whatever in that array. Oh yeah, a little cool thing. Where is this? There's a cool thing I could do. Maybe it wasn't in this one. No, go away. Oh, it's in the create a job class, which we're coming to, which is a really big one. So then this is the actual runner, and it's quite long, quite lengthy. We'll go through it quick. So these booleans will come into play sooner or later. So it creates a scanner so that it can ask you for your name, all that stuff, blah 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 blah. This is everything that loops so that you can so that it'll show you what your job is. This is the show file right here. This is that class going to work right there, and then this is if you're making a new account. This is that else. This is the has been created being worked into play right there. So then I think we're gonna get to that point that I was talking about soon. This is just making a new array, or this is so that it can show your file. What else? Oh, yeah, this is the whole thing that I made so that you can go effing away. Okay, so then this is the if you want to make one or if you don't want to make one, blah 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 blah. All this stuff. Really, it's basic. It's just a lot of coding and stuff. I don't really have to go through that. This is kind of like where all the booleans come into play. Here it is. Okay, right here. This is a cool thing. So I made a file writer, but this time I made it so that when I write to it, it maintains everything that was already like written and stuff. When I say true, that's just making it so that I don't like overwrite anything. It just adds on to the end, which is makes it super easy, so that all I have to do is take in what you said for your job and your money, and I just print it to that, and then it just adds on, which is super nice. Then this is saying that your job has been recorded. So yeah, that's that class. Quite big. Honestly, that thing is just pissing me off. Okay, now for the big button runner class. We'll try to go through this quick. This is where Swing really came into play. Yeah, look at all these imports. So this isn't the button runner, this is the GUI, which the button runner uses so that it can display things. So first thing we did was there's a already pre-made class in Java. This is all through Java Swing, called JFrame, and I supered that, I believe. Yes, because I extended JFrame. I supered it, and then its constructor is you have to have a title, and so that's what that is going right there. And then everything else I mean, you don't have to super it, but it makes everything super easy instead of having to make like your own JFrame class. But yeah, so this right here, I created a new button. See up here, I declared a JButton reg, and then a JButton custom. Honestly, is there a one that says please don't, like, God? Okay, so then yeah, there's all that. This just makes it so it prints out add job, like before you click on it, that's what it says. And then the custom button is a special button that'll show a picture and then what you want it to say. So it'll say this is the picture, this is what it says, and then B is the picture, and I imported this picture through an icon, and a whole bunch of just coding there. And then this right here is the name of the picture, and it's a PNG file, and it's within the file of the BlueJ folder that I'm using. Yeah, stuff like that. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. I had to make a class. I had to make a yes, down here. I had to make a class called the handler class. Yes, I made a class within a class. Interesting, huh? Okay, so handler class, and it implements action listener. That action listener, it makes it so that when you click the button, it does something. I'm not even gonna talk to that thing anymore. And so then up here, you're adding like bringing a handler into it from the handler class. You're just creating an object handler. Oh yeah, and add custom, you're just adding that to your JFrame. It's just, you're adding this little these adds, you're just adding to what you want to show up. But then this handler is when you do reg.add action listener and then you put in handler into the parameters, you're just making it so that it's gonna do something when you click on it. So then down here, action performed is going to be what the action does, what the handler does, and so then it takes in a action event called event, and down here that's where it comes into play, event.getAction, blah blah blah. This is JOption pane show dialog. It's just going to show you whatever you put in here. That's about it though for that thing. Honestly, go the hell away. I'm gonna click that. Okay, so lastly, the button runner. Really small class. All it does is it takes the GUI. We created a GUI object called Go, and then the first thing we're doing is closing the JFrame after we did everything we wanted. And then this pack, what it does is you can set the size of your window, but pack will just make it so that the window closes in on everything that's inside it, and so that you don't have to worry about it being the window being too small or too big, whatever. So just a nice little thing. And then set visible. You always have to set visible to true, otherwise it's not going to show. So that's about it. This is something I was trying to get, something to work, something so that I could get the button runner to show. That's what I was talking about, where it said like 0 frame something, and it just was not working. And I was just like, you know what, Strumlo, I'm good. I'm done. So yeah, that's my project. I can show you one. You know, yeah. Let's show you one little thing in the GUI class. Let's just for some funsies, let's change this to a picture I already have in there that I was using previously. I think this is pretty cool. Just like the ability to, you know, just like show an image. I think that's pretty cool. Like, we came a long ways. We came a long ways. Few simple steps. Any of y'all can do this. But yeah, just it's cool to think that, you know, we came a long ways, that we can show images. Like, damn, no one really appreciates that. Like, I tell my parents, they're like, I made this sick, like, I can show images, and they're like, yeah, I think so, because you've had like a year of AP Computer Science. And I'm like, you know what, you don't even know. You don't even know how hard this is. So yeah, let's go with Ben Hansen. Yep, I clean dishes. And boom. This is a button. You can also just make it a picture, but I made it a button. And I click on it, and it just says frame 0, and I can make it, oh, you know, let's show you one last thing. Let's make it say something instead of just 0 frame. Let's have it say, thank you, Logan. Yeah, let's put a little exclamation point in there. Compile that. Compile. And we're almost done. Logan. Let's click on it. Thank you, Logan. And thank you the rest of the class for sitting through that painful video. Goodbye.